There's something for every imagination at your local comic shop. Visit comicshoplocator.com to find a store near you.
Hey, here we are. I know
Hi,
that
everybody.
Robbie's going to be joining us in a couple minutes. TM Nerdy's already in the house station. Robbie, what's up, buddy?
Station.
I saw you. I got the photos you sent me. Thank you for wearing the Dallas Cowboys hoodie while you were at. I really appreciated that, especially after the butt kicking we got from the Raiders. That was really enjoyable.
Yeah.
But got 62 lefty. We got Nicholas as well joining us. Hey, what's going on, guys? Station. So how was it?
Oh, it was fantastic, bro. Yeah, it was fantastic, and I got to meet all these iconic figures in horror history, which I'm a huge fan of, right? And man, I had a great time. And you'll be pleased to know, Rex, that Kane Hodder, who played Jason in the Friday the 13th movies, in 4 of them,
Right.
was making fun of the Cowboys. So
there
you go.
See, I always liked that guy. I always liked him in every movie he was in.
Yeah. And Bill Moseley, too. Bill Moseley was, too. He was like, yeah, you know, I'm cool. I appreciate you, even though you're a Dallas Cowboys fan. I was like, well, who's your team? He goes, Chicago Bears. And I was like, you know what? I'm sorry.
Oh. See, kind of controversy you stir when you wear that jersey or that hoodie. So who else we got in the house? We got Mark. Hey, Mark, thanks for joining us. Wow, we got a bunch of people in here already. So it was good, right? It looked from the pics you were taking, it looks like it was a lot of fun.
Oh, I had so much fun. Like I said, these are people like, I mean, I love going and meeting people in the comic book industry, and I like going and seeing, bands play and stuff. But I've never been to a convention that was just straight up horror movies and stuff. And I got to meet so many iconic figures. Linnea Quigley, Bill Moseley, Michael Berryman, Kane Hodder, Felisa Rose. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. So many people, so many great memories. And I was in Lexington, Kentucky. Never really been there to stay. That was a beautiful place. And I had an Airbnb that was Big Lebowski themed. So there was like a tray of stuff to make White Russians, and there was bowling pins and bowling balls everywhere and everything about the dude from Big Lebowski. It was super fun. He even had the rug, which really tied the room together. So
you were telling me about the Airbnb. I mean, I've noticed the difference. I think I've stayed in an Airbnb once, and for what I was paying and it was in the Orlando, Florida area, and what I would have paid for a hotel, it was ridiculous. I literally, because we shared it with a bunch of other softball families, I think for the entire week I paid something like $200.
Wow, yeah, that's awesome.
I couldn't even get a room for a night in the Orlando area for $200, man.
Yeah, no kidding.
So, all right, to get started, we got a couple of books. First, I want to thank everybody that joined Nick and John on Saturday on Gemmin's YouTube channel. We had an auction. It was really our first auction as Dynamic Forces, and it did great.
Yeah, it went very, very well.
It went very, very well. And yes, John did not get better looking. John is not here today. He's at some sort of secret dinner meeting with Great Hornet enthusiasts or something. No, I'm kidding.
Is that the Green Hornet Con?
I'm kidding. Johnny needed a night off. He's an older guy, so we had to give him a night off. So John will be joining us again on Wednesday.
John can only take so much of Nick.
That's true too, but I don't want to say that on a live stream. So Nick said it for me. So we have Amy filling in. So the intelligence level of the show just went up.
You're too kind.
No. The bar is just very low. All right. So, but to reward our early viewers, I wanted to get something right out there. So we have legendary number 3, high-end Joe Benitez Virgin Art Ultra Limited Edition cover, suggested retail of $100. And because anybody that joined us, we're going to have it
legendary odds right here.
Yep, we're going to have it for $10 claim. Buy it now. So anybody wants to jump in on that for being one of the first viewers of the night, we appreciate it. So we're throwing that out there. And there it is. Awesome. I'm not even sure.
Thank God we don't have to hold it up anymore. I'm so happy.
I know. That was like, nobody wanted John handling the books anyway.
It just gets exhausting.
It is exhausting, especially our camera's pretty far away. So I don't know. Do we have JD tonight producing the show? Is it you, JD? Blink twice. Sign of life.
No, it's not JD.
Oh, it's Kyle. Hey, Kyle. What's going on, buddy?
Yeah. So we got Amy and me. So show's definitely off to a good start.
Yeah. Well, as I said, the bar's pretty low. So don't be too impressed with yourself. Dave Cerrone. Hey, I saw you. I saw your name come up on Saturday, buddy. Thanks for joining us, Dave. One of our most loyal viewers out there. Great guy. I heard you picked up a great statue, my friend. John is getting fitted for his Green Hornet costume. He is. My gosh, the secret's out. He is. He's at the tailor right now, getting the hat and the mask. And
he'll be missing out tonight. We have
one
Green Hornet related book.
Yeah.
One.
Well, I mean, I had to throw the guy a bone every now and again. So, all right. So we have another book.
Is that why he was asking me for good tailors to call?
Maybe. So this coming Wednesday could be a real interesting show, folks.
Wait, John's not here. Let me get some Silver Age.
So, all right. So our second reward to the our early viewers of the show, we also have Man with No Name, number 1, wanted poster cover, Dynamite Authentics cover, signed and remarked by Mel Ruby, and has a suggested retail of $89.99. And this will also be a $10 buy it now claim for those viewers that jumped in early to watch us. We appreciate it. We appreciate all our viewers, but a little special reward if you got in early.
Ask Dave real quick what Daredevil Frank Millers does he need? We got some in.
All right, so Dave, Nick wants to know what Daredevil Frank Millers you need because we got some in, and he's holding on to them. We're not allowed to touch them right now, even though John's not here. So that's a little heartbreaking. But beyond that, so what else happened at the con, man? Was it a good crowd?
Oh, it was a good crowd. It was a big crowd, and it was just such a fun experience. Everybody was so nice. I met Ted Raimi, Bruce Campbell. That was the longest line I waited in, probably too long. But, that was the second time I got to meet Bruce, but I've never had anything signed by him. Ted Raimi was a dream. I got to meet Christina Elise from Child's Play 2. She's in the new Chucky TV series. So I got a little bit of information about that. And that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to get in there and get as much information as I can. Either that or I was just like, will you sign this? You know what I'm saying? Completely nerded out. Great vendors. I got some cool T-shirts and hoodies and things like that, all horror related, and it was great, especially around this Halloween time. The highlight though for me was Linnea Quigley. I'm such a fan of hers. She is like the number 1 scream queen in my opinion. Right. She was in Return of the Living Dead. She was in Graduation Day. She's in Night of the Demons. So her and Amelia Kincaid were both there, the 2 main characters from Night of the Demons. So meeting both of them was super cool, and Linnea was just a sweetheart. It was just all in all a fan-frickin-tastic show.
That sounds like you had a great time, buddy. Yeah, the pictures you were smiling, ear to ear. So I knew you must have been having fun, or you were gloating over the Dallas Cowboy hoodie. I don't know which it was.
Yeah, well, if you notice on some of the photos, I'm wearing a Phantasm hoodie, and that's because I bought a different hoodie so that people would stop referencing or talking smack about the Cowboys. So on day 2, I was wearing my horror hoodie, and then I didn't have any of that. Everybody's like, okay,
what did I tell you, Robbie? It's not just me, bro. It's not just me, man. You invite this on yourself if you're going to wear that kind of apparel, okay, in a public venue.
And the cool thing is the Cowboys didn't lose this weekend because they didn't play. So.
Whatever.
So, all right. So who else we got in the house? We got, let's see. Oh, Jen King is saying hi from Texas, Robbie. Let's see. 62 Lefty, Stevie B's. How you doing? So I want to thank everybody, for joining us again tonight. And they were talking about you, although I was not here for the Saturday show with Gem Mint. They were talking about you a little bit, and definitely that's something we want to get you on as well. One of these days. Realize that you had other plans this weekend. HorrorCon, who would miss that, obviously? But definitely we should get you on that as well, man. It was a good show. I think Gem Mint did really good. Everybody I think that was on the show, Barry Gary. Who else was on the show? Tom was on the show. I think everybody did real well. And some great, interesting stuff. So, if you're joining us from that Gem Mint show, thank you for joining us tonight. And hopefully we can show you some stuff that they didn't have on the Gem Mint show. And if you have questions for Rock and Robbie, definitely post something in the chat boards. For those of you that have not joined us before, basically, if there's something that you want, throw the claim up, post it in the chat boards. And then later on in the show, Kyle will throw up a link and a QR code to our submission form. Fill out the submission form so we have your ship to address, your real name. I know a lot of people
real name, what you ordered,
all
the details.
All those little things so we know where to ship everything down. All right, so let's see. What time is it? Oh, okay. We got another good item here. All right, so we're going to do our first best offer at the end of the night takes it. It is Magnus Robot Fighter #1, high-end Tom Fowler Virgin Art Ultra Limited Edition with a suggested retail of $100. And it is, I'm sorry, this is actually a buy it now. It is $5 for a five-star great read. So it is suggested retail of $100, and we're doing it first person that claims it, buy it now for $5.
Wow, that's 95% off, man.
Thank God somebody can do that.
The ultimate discount. Well,
it's really easy when it's 100.
The ultimate discount is always 0. So what's David saying here? At Nick Barucci, you called me out 5 times the other night. I'm here. Too funny. Now we have to wait for Ron to get here. Oh, wait. Ron might be all spent out. Yeah, he went to a con as well, I think, over the weekend.
Was Baltimore this weekend?
Yeah, Baltimore. So he might be on complete lockdown by his wife. She saw the credit card bill or checked it online and said, "You're on lockdown." He may be staring, between bars right now as we're talking. So hopefully we see Ron a little bit later in the night if he is still breathing, and we always hope that he is. So all right. So next on the list we have masks #6. Okay, so this is actually our best offer case. My apologies. So just to go back and review, we've already done legendary #3, high-end Joe Benitez ultra limited edition cover, suggested retail of $100, and first person that claims it is $10. And then we had Magnus Robot Fighter #1, high-end Tom Fowler ultra limited edition cover, suggested retail of $100, and first person claims that will get it for $5. And then we have masks #6, high-end Steven Segovia, black and white, ultra limited edition cover, suggested retail of $50. And that one will be best offer takes it at $7.55 tonight. So we will start that off at $1. And the best offer will take it. So
it's a beautiful cover.
It is, isn't it?
Zorro in the shadow. And who is that? I can't see who the other people. Is that Green Hornet?
Well, I think that's Zorro and
Zorro,
Shadow.
Green Hornet.
Yep, Shadow.
Nice.
Who else is in there? Is the Green Hornet in there? No.
Guys, here's a better picture.
I think the Spider.
Say, I forgot we have the comics here.
Spider.
Green Hornet, Kato, Shadow, and Zorro.
There you go.
Too bad John's not here.
I know. I think we have another Green Hornet item up here, don't we?
I got a David Cerrone special. Let me jump in real quick, and then I'll let the professionals do their job.
Go ahead.
Dave said I've been teasing him. Dave, anybody who wants these tonight, these are prices from 3 years ago. Anybody who wants them tonight can have them at the prices from 3 years ago. All right, here are the Daredevils. Any Alex Toth Zorros in there? No, not right now. We have 159. I'm going to do this slowly.
I was going to say, do you need help?
Yep, I'm going to do it like that. 161. 162. Hey, you can use a little Ditko in your life. 164. 165. 166. 167. 169. Of course, 168 will be sold. 170, one of the best covers of all time. 171, 172. I got to tell you, I love this cover too, though. 173, 174. This is beautiful. 175, 176, 177, 178. Gotta love the Power Man Iron Fist. 179. Freaking unbelievably beautiful cover. 180. Two 181s. Both near mint condition. And then we have an annual. Somehow these were out of order. 182, 183, and 184. Somehow they were out of order. So if Dave or anybody wants any of these, you can have the prices from 3 years ago. After tonight, they are going to go in future shows at the current price. I did not pay that much less than these prices. So call out the issue, and the smart people who will now be on the air will call me to tell me what you guys want to say.
Nice.
Dave,
Thanks, Nick.
that shows you how much we love you.
And I'm back. Dave,
That
he's
is
calling
just-
you out again, bro. All right. So Dave asked, what's the price and condition on 174, 179, 183, and 184?
All right.
I'm gonna have to write that down. That's a lot of information.
Here's 174.
Hold on.
Well, I'll give them to you.
Okay.
174,
174,
175.
175.
Yeah.
Let me see. 174, 179. I need 179.
Here's 179. Oh, he doesn't want 175?
No.
Okay. Give me 175 back.
Here's 175 back.
Let me not get them out of order again.
Okay. So hold on. So 175.
All right. What are the
All
others?
right. So he also is interested in 183.
183. The man has taste. And 184?
And 184, correct.
Okay.
All
Give
right.
him the prices. I'll get the grades.
Okay, so price is right here.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right, Dave. Dave Cerrone special. 174 is $50. 179 is $28. 183 is $22, and 184 is $33. And you're writing this down, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Boy, you're so much better than John. John never writes anything down. He just gets his drink and we'll go on a tangent, which I enjoy. Don't get me wrong. What's that?
And he tries to get the green hornet.
And he tries to get the Green Hornet. That's why I should probably plan better and load up shows when he's not going to be here with Green Hornet. But it was kind of a last minute thing, so I didn't really know. So, Dave, hold on a second. Nick is actually getting the grades.
Yeah, I'm going to put him in the chat.
Okay, so he's going to put them in the chat for you. All right, so you know. And want to also, for those that may be joining us from the Saturday Gem Mint, auction show, Nick had promised that we would have the Nice House on the Lake, all 3 covers. Okay, so we have the 1
Sure, I
and
put that down too. Nice house.
yes, the cover C 1 in 25 incentive ratio cover for 100. We have cover A for 20, and we have cover B also for 20, and we have one of each. So this will be available tonight that for anybody that wants to claim them, and we'll definitely put it, bring it back up in the chat or the recap, because I know this was a last minute add-on, so Kyle probably does not have the images for it.
Nick's getting the grades up.
And Nick's getting grades up, Dave. So check it out.
The grades are up. And again, anyone who wants any of these Daredevils, will give them the old prices. But Dave has first call on these 4.
All right. So Kyle's asking for us to come up with a number for the rest of the books. Should we read off the prices?
We had a couple people asking for the prices.
I'll
on
email the
rest,
prices
so-
and the grades. I'll email the old prices and the grades right now to you, Kyle.
Well, I'm not the one asking. There were other people asking in the comments. So if you just want to come up with a number and we can shout it out.
You want to? Yeah. Let's just read. Well, you know what? Are there specific issues that people are looking for?
Just the rest
If
of
they can-
them. Whatever Dave doesn't want.
Whatever Dave doesn't want.
I'm going to send the list. I'm gonna run it.
So
You know what? Actually, what am I saying? I could run the list in the thing myself.
yeah. So Nick's gonna post it in the chat boards. for anybody that's interested in the Frank Miller Daredevils with condition and price. So if you're interested, post something on the chat boards to claim any of the books tonight. And again, Kyle will throw up a link and a QR code for you to link up to the submission form. Please make sure to fill out the submission form so we can get your invoice out right away and we have your shipping address. Without the submission form, obviously, it delays things because we'll reach out to you to try to find out. All right, so Dave says he will take 179, 183, and 184. You got it, Dave. Amy's writing it down right now, and I'm going to write it down.
You know, there's not, in my opinion, a better Daredevil run than the Miller run.
184. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
not a better. Yeah.
Why do you think that? I agree with you 100%, Robbie. But tell us your thoughts.
Daredevil was one of those characters that never really found its own unique vision and identity amongst the other stuff that Marvel was putting out in the 60s and the 70s, right? Miller comes in and makes it like this hard-boiled, gritty type thing. There's gone are all the thought balloons and all the overly verbose wordage and verbiage and whatnot. Or now we have this like hard-boiled detective style, like what we know of as the distinctive Frank Miller narrative style, like from Dark Knight Returns or from Year One or from Sin City or from 300. That all really starts developing there. He introduces Elektra. He makes the Kingpin a bigger deal as far as Daredevil's world goes. He really goes into the Catholic aspect of it and building that character up. And between his initial run, Born Again and Man Without Fear, Daredevil just doesn't get better than that. And prices have really changed over the last 3 years in particular. So that's a really good deal on these books. It's a classic run to have and still affordable, not like, some Golden Age or some early Silver Age type stuff, right? So
right. No, exactly.
And they're the most important Daredevil comics out there, aside from maybe his first appearance.
No, I agree with you. I mean, we had a discussion with AR, who isn't, maybe is now, much of an X-Men reader. And, we were talking about the Claremont Byrne, run of the Uncanny X-Men. And we really started talking about, because that was a book that I remember growing up and my friend said, hey, you got to get into this run. And it was the depth, Nightcrawler and his religious background. The fact that Colossus was from a communist country, back then the Soviet Union, and just the different characters and the depth of them. And it gave you the impression that, sometimes it gets a little unbelievable. A man can completely convert his body into a metal skin. Somebody that can teleport that looks like has a forked tail, looks like the devil. But when they did that, it kind of made them more human. And I think Daredevil, although somewhat more human than say the X-Men, it gave us a depth, into that character. He was no longer just that blind guy that had these hyper senses and so on and so forth. It made him human. Yeah. And I think certainly Frank Miller, he's one of those creators that kind of vaulted himself above the rest, if you will. And that's no disrespect meant for other creators out there of the same era. It's just that he did some defining things. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. And Daredevil for the longest time just didn't know if it was supposed to be like a Spider-Man book or if it was supposed to be more broody. It just didn't know. And Daredevil, when Miller was on it, it made that vision so much to the point that you could divide the Daredevil timeline into before Miller and after Miller. Like, it's that big of a game change. Like, everybody who's done Daredevil since has done a riff on what Frank Miller was doing, pretty much.
Right. No, I agree. So, all right. So next up, let's call it our John Isn't Here book. Okay. Our John Isn't Here sale. We're going to do Shadow, Green Hornet, Dark Knights #1, high-end Alex Ross artboard ultra limited edition cover. Suggested retail of $100. This is going to be one of our best offer takes it. So best offer at the end of the night takes it. We'll start that at $1. And just so everybody understands, so we have really two types of books that we have here. Buy it now claims. We'll give you the price. If you're interested in the book, put it in the chat board. Then we also have best offer takes it at the end of the night. So we'll offer these books at either a $1, $5, or $10 start. And the person who has the best offer by $7.55 before the end of the show will be the winner. For those of us that aren't watching the live stream and are catching us afterwards, all the books that we offer tonight, if they are still available,
There we go. There's the picture.
There it is. If it's still available, we'll honor those prices, except for best offer takes it, obviously, because we can't do that without the live segment of it. But yep. So we have right now, just to recap real quick for the early watchers in our first half hour, we had legendary number 3 high-end Joe Benitez Virgin Art Ultra Limited Edition cover, suggested retail of $100. That is a buy it now as a reward for early viewers at $10. Then we had Magnus Robot Fighter number 1 high-end Tom Fowler Virgin Art Ultra Limited Edition cover, suggested retail of $100. And we have that as that is our $5 claim. This is not the best offer of the night takes it. So a $100 book for $5 for the first person that claims it. And then we have the Masks number 6 high-end Steven Segovia black and white ultra limited edition cover. That is best offer at the end of the night takes it for starting at $1. And then Shadow Green Hornet Dark Knights number 1 high-end Alex Ross artboard ultra limited edition cover, suggested retail of $100. Best offer by $7.55 takes it, and that's all starting at $1. So Dave has a question. Yeah, I know, right? Dave has a question for Robbie. Have you heard news about Charlie Cox Daredevil coming back to the MCU movies?
Yeah, what I've heard is there's a very strong rumor that he's going to be in Spider-Man, the next one, I guess, not Spider-Man 3, but whatever they're calling. What is it? Far From Home? No. Whatever. The next Spider-Man film is
No Way Home.
No Way Home. That's what it is. So the rumors are that he's going to be in there playing Matt Murdock, not appearing as Daredevil, but that would be a cool little Easter egg. And then there's all these rumors swirling around that Marvel wants some of them. They want Jessica Jones, they want the Punisher, and they want the Daredevil, the same actors, to come into the MCU. But at the same time, the idea is that they're wanting to do their own twist and versions on those characters, which could be confusing because Daredevil and Jessica Jones in particular were popular shows. They want those actors, but they also want the freedom, I guess, of being able to do whatever they want. But with the multiverse stuff coming up, they could just be saying that the Netflix stuff is part of another multiverse and this is their official MCU Daredevil. But rumors are very strong that he appears as Matt Murdock as a lawyer in this film. So we'll see though, because they're keeping an offer.
Yeah. So we have an offer from 62 Lefty. He's offering $3 for the Shadow Green Hornet.
I gotta lean in to read all these things. Our screen's too far away.
I know. We're looking into let's see, $3 for the Alex Ross Green Hornet Shadow. That will break John's heart, which only makes this even more fun. Let's see. My Magnus claim. Let's see. My Magnus claim was back there somewhere before the Daredevil hoopla. Magnus. Let's see. Hold on a second. Let me see. So we'll find you, Stevie B. Don't worry.
Yeah, I see it there.
Yeah, I got to find. He said he claimed the Magnus.
It says claim for $5. Yeah, I see it.
All right. So Magnus is being claimed by, let's see, Stevie B for $5. Gotcha, Stevie. And don't worry, we always keep a copy of the chats just to make sure that we can go back and double check. But let's see. So we got Nick up there. So Nick's putting up those Frank Miller Daredevils, and you're putting in here. We'll screw things up probably, Nick. But let me ask you. I got a question for you. Oh, you know what? We got to go to break. So when we come back from break, I got a question for Robbie that's kind of related to Daredevil and Jessica Jones. But we'll talk about that in a few minutes. We'll be right back.
To be continued. 3 little words that hold the secret to the next great story. 3 words that will thrill you, confound you, give life to new possibilities. Every variation of To Be Continued is a promise of adventure, a promise of excitement, a promise of unseen wonders and unexplored worlds. A promise that every issue you read makes you a part of a never-ending journey, and behind every page there will be an unopened door waiting for you. This story to be continued at your local comic book shop today. Visit comicshoplocator.com today.
Alright. Hi, I'm Travis, King of Source Point, and you're watching The Experience.
In case you think.
And we're back.
Okay. No.
So Amy and I are arguing the difference between going to a movie theater to see a movie or watching
Yeah,
it
we're
at
still
home.
on that.
So
Movie theater's better, but
Thank you.
But when you're old like us, we're more susceptible,
well, you know what? It's so much money. All right. So Jim's saying
and you're also more susceptible to being frugal.
we've got him whistling to the theme
Stop
from the
ruining it.
good, the bad, and the ugly. One of the best westerns ever. Was a very good western. I would agree with Joe on that. And he's going to take The Man with No Name, #1. So it's yours, Jim.
Nice.
So I want to ask you a question, Robbie.
Okay.
What do you think? So we were talking about Daredevil, Jessica Jones. What do you think happened to Iron Fist? Why it just didn't gain any traction?
Well, the problem is that it wasn't a very good show, right?
Yeah,
I mean that's the thing, I guess. There's a part of Iron Fist that I kind of like because I like movies that are so cheesy sometimes. They're just so bad, but they're kind of fun. And I liked Iron Fist that way. And at least I think Iron Fist, out of all of them, was one of the more consistent shows because it was consistently mediocre in every episode, right? And they had weird stretches. The dude, I don't like. There's a dude in there who accidentally gets addicted to heroin somehow. Like the writing in that show was bad. They didn't feel. I feel like it was rushed too, right? Because they didn't. I don't remember the cat's name that played Iron Fist, that played Danny, but he didn't really go through any intense training. It's not like when you're watching Shang-Chi and you can tell that dude went through some training to fight, or you're watching a Matrix movie and you can be like, oh, Neo learned a little bit of Kung Fu. Like in that one, like the fighting, it was that quick cut. And this is something I see in action movies and action shows all the time. You'll always hear the criticism. We don't like the quick cut. We like the wide angle. We want to see it all, but they like nobody really does it. But that's one of the reasons why like John Wick works, is because it does do that. And so it's like they need to learn their lessons. Iron Fist, though, I feel like they rushed into it, didn't really know what they wanted to do.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what I think happened there.
There's depth to that character, but they didn't tap it, and that's the unfortunate part. So Amy and I were arguing. I don't know if you've seen it yet. Have you seen Dune?
I have not. My girlfriend is a huge Dune fan, so she's making me wait until she's back in town so we can watch it together.
I am a huge Dune fan as well, not just the movies, but the books, Frank Herbert, the whole 9 yards. So I watched it. It was weird. What was it? It was on HBO Max.
Yes.
So it was weird because it was supposed to come out on Friday, but then Thursday I kind of tuned in to just sort of watch previews and get ready for it. And there was some sort of sneak peek, and I got to watch the movie on Thursday night. And it wasn't at midnight. It was like at 8 or something. I tuned into it. So Amy went to see it in IMAX, and was explaining
how it's meant to be seen.
How it's meant to be seen. Yada yada yada. Okay. It's still a horrible ending because they ended it midway through. I didn't realize that was going to be the case until after, I go part 1. What's this part one nonsense?
Can I be honest though? Like even before
No,
we saw
be
official
honest.
things about
Lie
it.
to us.
Yes, I prefer that too. Lie to me.
You said, "Can I be honest?" Does
Yeah,
that mean you're
yeah,
lying?
yeah.
Otherwise,
Like I think they kind of did tell people really ahead of time. Like when the news first hit, like they already said Disney was gonna split it in 2 parts. So why was I still don't know why everyone's acting shocked about it.
I don't remember seeing that. And maybe I didn't read carefully enough. Maybe it was just some sort of subconscious denial. I don't know, but it didn't actually dawn on me until number 1. And then the horrible part where you pause it on HBO Max, and I see how much time's left, and I see where we are in the storyline because I've read.
Can I tell you, it doesn't feel long in the theater at all. It does
didn't
not
feel long to me either. But I'm looking at it, and we're like at the 2-hour mark, and I see where we are in the story, and I'm like, well, there ain't no way. This is definitely part 1. There's no way they're going to get to the end. Okay, it's just impossible.
I thought they all got eaten by a wormhole at the end.
It's not a wormhole. It's a giant worm, Nick.
A wormhole.
Not a Dune fan.
What is this? Deep Space Nine?
Nick, a wormhole? It's a hole in the sand, Nick. A wormhole is a completely different thing, and that's Star Trek related. We'll discuss that later.
Nick, you gotta work on your jokes.
All right. So Dave says the Iron Fist actor said the production schedule was rushed and he didn't have time to really practice fights. Well, there you go. That answers the question, or brings up the point that you brought, and that came across on screen. Unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. 100%. And as far as Dune, like I know that they're wanting Dune to be the next Lord of the Rings. Like they want to stretch that out as far as they can. They're going to keep going.
There are 3 books that he initially wrote: Dune Messiah, and then what was it, God Emperor Dune. I have to admit, you got to be a real Dune fan to read God Emperor Dune. There was some parts that got like a little spacey, and I don't mean in the space travel sort of way. But I was a huge fan of Frank Herbert's work, so I read through all of them. But they definitely have enough source material, especially if they're breaking up the first book into 2 parts. They could do way more than Lord of the Rings ever did. If you look at total page numbers, it were far more than Lord of the Rings, even including The Hobbit. The books were huge. So 62 Lefty Blue says he watched it at home on his 65-inch 4K with no noise and sit as close as I want to the screen. 62 Lefty, I'm with you, buddy. That works. Okay. But there are people in the world that insist that the only way to watch it is in the movie theater in IMAX.
At least to watch it first. If you want to watch it again,
like,
it's fine on your TV. But to really experience it for the first time,
well,
it's gotta be the theater.
She's like huffing and puffing here because she does not agree. But this is a discussion we have in the office almost every day, especially when a new movie comes out. All right, next up, I want to throw out there. This is something we do every show. Kind of as a thank you to our viewers, but also to try and encourage people. If you're not a reader yet of comics, I know that the MCU and the DC universe brings in a lot of new fans that may not actually read comics and don't realize that all this source material comes from that. We have the Dynamite 10-pack reader set, and that is 10 random Dynamite titles that have a cover price of $3.99 or higher. And you're going to get 10 of them, random Dynamite titles. So a suggested retail of $40, and we have it for $5. And it's been a great item. A lot of people order it for themselves as gifts, whatever. We do it to encourage people to, number one, pick up comics, read comics. If sending out this 10-pack gets somebody to visit their local comic book shop, that's fantastic. We think they're all great reads. Obviously, we may be a little biased because we do work for the publisher, but again, I think there are lots of people like John and others out there that love Dynamite titles. This is a great way for 50 cents a title to pick up these Dynamite titles and kind of get introduced to the characters and so on and so forth, and hopefully encourage more people to read comics, and visit their local comic book shop, which we encourage every show. Please support your local business, but for us, if we can help support your local comic book shops, it's amazing how many have closed, in recent years. It's almost spooky, and they are the foundation of the comic book hobby. And without them, what would we do? It's kind of like your local hardware store disappearing and being replaced by Home Depot. It'll take you 3 hours to find some bolts. that you need, because even the employees don't know where the bolts are, because how would they? There's aisles and aisles of stuff, you know? So there's an experience that you have at your local comic book shop that you're not going to get when you're ordering it online or from, Amazon or whatever the case may be. There's a one-to-one kind of thing. Don't miss it. It's part of the experience. It really is. So we have that available tonight. That's available almost every show. If you buy more than one, we will do our best to make sure that you don't get duplication titles. If you buy more than 2, 3, 4, or 5, we may run into a duplication, issue, but we'll always do our best. I know that like Ron and a few others have bought multiple copies or multiple sets, and we've done our best to make sure they don't get repeat titles in there. All right, so let's see. What should we do next? Robbie, why don't you pick one, my friend?
Let's do a remark. Let's do a remark.
Let's do a remark.
Always popular.
Always popular. Let's see.
And about that 10-pack real quick, here's a great idea that I have heard from somebody years and years ago at the shop. And I thought that was the coolest thing. But, you go to a dentist's office or a doctor's office or any kind of place where you got to sit in the waiting room. They all got these like out of date, terrible magazines. This dude's like, I just bring a stack of comics and I leave them there. So that's a cool thing to do too. You get some of these 10-packs, you can just kind of leave them laying around in places and people will pick them up. And I mean, I could read this issue of Travel American from like 2016, or I could check out this random comic book. Oh, they still make comics, and then you never know. You might spark a new reader coming back to the hobby.
It's kind of like ninja marketing.
Yeah, right.
You're right.
Just leave them everywhere.
Leave some comics. Sir, do you have an appointment? No, I'm just going to drop these comics off here in your waiting room. Is that okay? So, all right. Let's do a remark. So we have Deceased #1 signed and remarked by Ken Hazer. Suggested retail of $89.99, and it is one of our 5-star at $50 books tonight, and we have one available. Robbie, doing the show with us, all these different live streams and me coming on your show, that I am a huge Ken Hazer fan. The guy just has a range that is unbelievable, whether it be Aliens or Predator, or in this case, Deceased, with the Joker zombie. I've seen him do Walt Disney characters like Uncle Scrooge. Seen him do Archie remarks. It's just amazing. And we've talked about this before, how remarks have kind of graduated into their own little collecting niche within the comic book world. And, whereas before it was something that was just like maybe a line sketch drawn on a comic with the creator's signature, now you have publishers that actually print out these blank copies with a slightly thicker stock. And that allows guys like Ken Hazer to just go to town. And, the color, some of his connecting covers that he does, which is always amazing to me, how he gets them to line up like that. I mean, I'm not sure how he does it, but huge fan. So we have that available tonight. Deceased #1, signed and remarked by Ken Hazer. Suggested retail of $89.99, and we have it tonight for $50.
Yeah, Deceased is a great one.
Real quick.
Do we want to do another remark real quick?
Go for it.
We could. You want to do another one? We'll do another one. Let's do
just because it's just two. It was just two for him tonight.
So X-Men #1, signed and remarked by Ken Hazer with a Spider-Man sketch. This is another beauty. Suggested retail at $89.99, and we have it tonight as well for $50, and we have just one available. Remarks really are kind of one of a kind, even when they try to, guys like Ken who try to give you the same perspective, the same type of image. It's never quite the same because each one is individually hand drawn.
Yeah, it's a truly unique item, and I love his work so much. I love his signature. His signature looks freaking cool, right? And Deceased is a hot book. Everybody loves that. It's a really cool story, very Halloween appropriate. And what's better than picking up a Deceased #1, one that's remarked by Ken Hazer, and that was Joker, right?
Yes.
Right? I'm pretty sure that's Joker. At first, I was like, is it a Robin? Because it looked like he had a mask on. But that Joker cover is gnarly. That's perfect for Halloween time.
It is. It is. So if you're buying it for yourself, buying it as a gift, comic book fan, a Joker fan, a Deceased fan, Ken Hazer fan. So let's see. Dave is asking, what are the trade undressed books tonight? All right, Dave, let's take a look. What do we have that is? All right, so we do still have. Let me see. We have. All right. Well, that was claimed by Stevie B. Let's see. Black and white cover, artboard cover. Let me see. I thought that we had one. Oh, legendary. All right. Dave, we have legendary number 3, high-end Joe Benitez Virgin Art ultra limited cover. Suggested retail at 100. This was I think we started the show with this one.
Yeah, we did.
It is a $10 claim. So $100 book for $10. And I'm not sure if we have any other non-trade dress.
The other one I see is also a CG Seed one. There's the Dark Knight Returns is a non-trade dress variant.
Oh yes, you're right. You're right. You know what? That's a good one. Let's go to that one first. Let's go to that one next, rather. Let's see. Yes, that is the Dark Knight.
Very
Returns.
shiny cover.
Very shiny cover. We can't really do it justice because it's a metallic foil cover. But it is Dark Knight Returns, number 1, ultra limited black foil, New York Comic-Con Virgin variant, CGC graded, guaranteed 9.6. So suggested retail of $149.99, and we have it at $100 tonight, and we have the one available. So
that was a New York Comic-Con exclusive?
It is, yes, and it is a metallic cover, the black foil non-trade dress variant.
We also have a 9.8 that's $300 that we'll do for $200 tonight.
All right, so we also have the same book.
You gotta take the picture down for a second.
That's all right. All right, this is the same book except it is a 9.8, and we're going to do that tonight for $200. Let me see. 9.8 is $200.
It's way cheaper than a ticket to New York Comic-Con and a plane.
Yeah, right. Seriously. Although, you know what, we always encourage people to go if they have the opportunity to go, because there's nothing like going to a con.
Yeah, well, that one's already happened, so you can't go back. It's way cheaper than a time travel device to go back in time to go to the New York Comic-Con where that was available.
And if you see a time travel device advertised on Amazon, I would suggest you not buy it, because I don't think it really exists. But that's just me. All right. And if you do, maybe the Amazon delivery guy can get it to you yesterday.
You're like, why did this show up on my door? It's like, don't worry, you'll order this in a couple of days.
You'll know why in a minute. You order it tomorrow. So, but other than that, so what plans for cons do you have for the upcoming year, man?
For me?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll tell you what. Well, nothing for the rest of this year. Scarefest was pretty fun, and it was a good cap for it. Plus, they're just now kind of getting going. But next year in April, we've got the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo in my hometown. And Pop Culture Philosophers is always there. My comic shop is always there. We'll do panels. I get to do panels with some of the guests. I've done panels at that show with Mike Grell, 2 with Chris Claremont. I did one with Jim Shooter this last year. Getting to meet these people and being able to actually have conversations with them on the, in the panel room, and then, in between those times is super, super fun. I always want to hit up Heroes Con because that's my favorite comic book convention that I've been to. So I love Heroes Con, and then definitely going to go to Scarefest 14 next October for sure.
And I think Kyle suggested a con for you as well, but that's way up in the chat. So when Kyle gets a chance, I'm sure he'll post it again. It's something he suggested for you that might be a good con for you to attend. But now we've had so many chats, I can't keep track of it. All right, so let's move to a signed book. Let's do.
What do you choose from?
Yeah, I know. Let's do Symbiote Spider-Man number 1, signed by Greg Land. Suggested retail of $39.99, and we have it tonight for $19.62. So we have one available at that price. So that is available tonight as well. So you said your girlfriend is a. Oh, here we go. Kyle says Astronomicon. Okay. So Astronomicon. Sorry.
What, like the Houston Astros? Never mind. No, thank you.
Go Braves. Cowboys. So
Astronomicon, just so you know, is a wrestling and horror convention thrown by the rock/rap group Twisted.
Oh, neat. That is very neat. That is an interesting combination. Let's see. Dave has a question. Did Robbie just say Mike Grell? Is that panel on YouTube? He's one of my favorite writer artists. So did you say Mike Grell?
Yeah, I did. I don't think that one's on YouTube. The pop culture philosophers panels that we do, few of those are on YouTube, but the ones I do with the creators, they usually stream. So I don't know if those videos are still up there, but you can check out the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo on Facebook and on Instagram and on YouTube. Maybe they're on there, but I'm not certain if the Mike Grell one is at all.
Gotcha. Okay, no worries.
But it was great. It was great. Really, I just said, "How'd you get started?" And then 45 minutes later, I was like, all right, Mike, well, it's time to end the panel.
That's awesome. And you mentioned your girlfriend's a big Dune fan, huh? From the books, from the first movie in the 80s, or?
She likes the movies, but in particular, it's the books. She's been going through them again, the audio books of them, because a couple months ago, we were at the store, and I bought a copy of Dune. I'm like, I'm going to read this before the movie. Needless to say, it's still sitting over there. I haven't read a single page, but so she started doing the audiobook, and she's through 2 books already. So I don't know what order they are in or whatnot. But I remember the old
Dune
movie.
Messiah would be the next book.
I remember the.
I would love to talk to your girlfriend. I love talking to anybody that's read the books because there's a level of detail that you have in the books. Obviously, well, that's true about any book that gets turned into a movie that you can't quite capture. You know. I haven't had a chance because I don't have Apple Plus TV yet. But I also want to watch the Foundation series, and you've heard me mention it, I'm sure, Amy. Huge fan of those books as well. Isaac Asimov and the creativity, and they were really contemporaries. Here we go, John, my buddy John Cole. Here we go. He's here in spirit. Figured we'd have a bonus Amy appearance. Yeah, we had Green Hornet too. Too bad you missed it, bud.
Sorry, John.
And do we have any Batman? Oh, yeah, we do have a couple.
I mean, we just have one.
Well, no, we have 2.
Well, 2. We have another one
Detective
over here. Or we have a Joker.
If I knew you were coming, John, I would have eliminated all Batman books in your honor.
Half of it's been Green Hornet so far.
Oh, too funny, man. So, all right, what should we do? Oh, I did want to mention, I almost forgot. As we're approaching our second break, when we come back from break, we have to announce the winner of the contest. And when we get back from break, Robbie will run his handy dandy randomizer. And we've been doing it. I'm on Robbie's show on Fridays, and he's on our show on Mondays, and we keep flip-flopping the contest. So anybody that comments in the chat tonight will be automatically entered into the drawing on Robbie's show on Friday. So John says, missed it, Green Hornet. That's Rex catching an email tomorrow. Yeah, probably. But I catch emails from you every day, John. And that email you sent me about $6 Million Man, took care of it, buddy, because it's you, John. So we always jump on your emails. I mean, literally, we print them out and jump on them, me and Amy, because it's like, he sent us another email, crush it, burn it, rip it. So Neil's joined us. Hey, Neil, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for joining us tonight. And that was somebody sneezing. I think that was Nick.
Bless you.
Left in his office. So
he's digging through the mold comics, trying to find more Daredevils.
That's exactly right. They're getting moldy. He's allergic to the mold.
Well, they're not moldy. Maybe the bag's are a little dusty. That's they're not moldy. He's not going to sell moldy comics. Come on.
No.
He might.
Yeah, moldy first appearance of Captain America is still worth it, right?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, right? There's a condition for every buyer. Depends on your budget and what you're buying it for.
I love low grade. I love low grade key. When I buy my keys, because I'm a big Fantastic Four guy, like my first appearance of Dr. Doom's like a 1.8. My first appearance of Thanos is like a 1.8 because low grade is better than no grade, my friend.
Very well said. And it looks like Kyle's checking out, but JD is going to be joining us to produce the show. So thank you, Kyle. And what's going on, JD? All right, so let's do. I think we have time for one more book before we go to the break. Let's do Venom: The End #1, signed by Raza. It is a Suggested retail of $29.99, and that's what we got it for tonight. $29.99, and we have the one available, and I love that cover. Yeah. That is absolutely an amazing cover.
It's a really, Marvel did the whole, because the End, they've done plenty of these End series before. My favorite's still Hulk The End by Peter David and Del Keown. That one was awesome. But out of the newer batch, this was by far, I thought, the best one. It was really interesting. Venom goes cosmic. It's kind of sad. It's tragic, and really cool books. That's a really cool price for a signed copy.
And just so everybody knows who might be joining us for the first time, all signed books come with a certificate of authenticity from Dynamic Forces, guaranteeing the signature. All the signed books have been hand signed.
It's right there
by the creator. So fully guaranteed as to its authenticity, just to make sure everybody knows. And if you just joined us when we come back from our second break in a few minutes, we will have Rockin' Robbie run the randomizer. Still waiting on the big wheel. Supply chain issues, so we'll get that big Prices Right wheel in soon. There it is, JD. And we'll do that and announce the winner of the. So everybody knows what we're giving away on each show. Number one, if you comment on the chat board, you're automatically entered, and except for Nick. And we're giving away a premium book, premium variant book with a retail value of $50 or more. And we're giving one away on each show, Robbie's show, my show, and then back and forth. So we keep doing it. And there we go. John Cole, Robbie, we miss you, John. Not that much, really, to be honest with you. But if you post pictures of food tonight, John, I will be angry, okay? Because I was not invited. And I smell food. Do you smell food?
I do smell food.
Did Nick make some food and not offer us any? Man, that's just cold-blooded.
You don't want any of the deep-fried donut ice cream?
Whoa, you have deep-fried donut ice cream?
John does.
John, that's it. On Wednesday's show, all Batman, no Green Hornet. Okay, that's it. I'll get you, John. All right, so, hey, it's time for a break. We will be back in a few minutes, and we'll run the contest.
There's something for every imagination at your local comic shop. Visit ComicShopLocator.com to find a store near you.
You are watching Minute to Skim It on the Experience, so hello. All right, we've got lots of books to review for you guys today. And Hannah just basically showed up just the number ones and showed them to me, and I was like, oh, we have
just for the indies.
Just for the indies, yeah. I was like, we have got a lot to do.
I'm Thomas Munn with Blue Juice Comics, and you're watching The Experience.
And we're back. We got our buddy Rockin' Robbie, and we've got the new and improved John.
And the nice house on the lakes.
And nice house on the lake. So we'll you know what? We'll do that real quick, and then we will have Robbie run the randomizer. So this was a last-minute add-on. So JD, you do not have pictures of this probably. So we are selling 3 different covers of the nice house on the lake. We have cover C. This was the incentive cover. So retailers had to get buy 25 copies to receive 1. That we have tonight for $100. We have cover A, and we have that tonight for $20. And we have cover B. All right, and cover B has cardstock for the book itself, and we have that as well for $20. So we have 1 each available tonight to anybody that's interested. We also have some Daredevils that Nick posted the condition and price on. That was last minute add-on. We'll call that the Dave special. Dave picked up a few of them. I think Dave picked up 179, 183, 184, the Frank Miller Daredevils. So before Robbie runs the randomizer, the winner will receive Red Sonja number 14. It's the Lisner Virgin variant cover.
Nice.
And Robbie's going to run that randomizer, if you would, sir.
Absolutely. All you had to do was comment on the preview video on Friday, and I believe this is the most entries we've had so far. Nice. So I'm very excited. And by the way, Linsner, his covers for Dynamite books are the best-selling Dynamite covers at my shop, period. Everybody loves this dude. Loves this dude. So let's see. The winner is TNB. TNB, who said support your local shops. TNB.
Congratulations.
I'll reach out to you. We'll get in touch. Send me your email, your address. We'll get that sent out to you.
TNB winner. Red Sonja number 14. Lisner Virgin variant cover. So we will get that out to you. Robbie will reach out to you, and we will get this prize sent out to you ASAP. So, and a reminder to everybody tonight, please, if you want to enter the contest for Robbie's show, post something on the chat board. Just say hello, say hey, whatever you want, station, and you will be automatically entered in the drawing. And then on Robbie's show on Monday, Robbie's show on Friday. Say I'm getting confused what day it is. Our show's on Monday. Robbie's show on Friday, we will draw the winner from and announce the winner there. So be sure to join Robbie's show. And JD, when you get a chance, please throw up the link to Robbie's YouTube channel. If you are joining us from Robbie's show, you already know. I don't need to tell you. If you have not checked out Robbie's YouTube channel, please do so. Comics, movies, horror, you name it, pop culture. This guy knows it. He'll drop some serious knowledge, and obviously all of his live streams and his videos are very entertaining. He's a very engaging guy. That's why we love having him here. Please don't hold it against him that he is a Dallas Cowboy fan. Nobody can be perfect. It's just one of those things. You know, everybody has some faults in them, and this is one of Robbie's. But at least he got educated at the HorrorCon when he tried to pull off that hoodie, so that he had to buy himself another hoodie to switch up the next day. See, I always said there are more Cowboy haters than there are lovers, my friend. Sorry.
Yeah, well, it's still, whether you love or hate us, it's still America's team.
No, it's not. Okay, it's not. Jerry Jones gave himself that name. It's not. It is totally not.
It's like one of my favorite bands, one of my favorite artists, one of my favorite bands is Noel Gallagher from Oasis. And he said in an interview, hey, man, if you tell enough people that you're the best band in the world, some of them are going to believe you.
I have no comment to that. I can't even go anywhere with that. All right. I mean, I can't stand him. I'm just going to be honest, Robbie. I can't stand him.
I can tell, Rex. Don't worry. I can tell.
And a lot of it has to do with the fact that we're division rivals and have been for as long as I can remember.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's bothering you even more right now how well we're doing and how poorly y'all are doing. But it's okay, man. It's
Look,
okay.
if you compare yourself to the rest of the NFC, I mean, you guys are running the middle of the pack. Let's call it what it is. Come on, please.
Hey, here's the thing though. Eagles and Cowboys fans can unite on one thing. Man, what is up with the Chiefs? What is up with the Chiefs?
Oh,
my
Patrick
goodness.
Mahomes is my quarterback in my fantasy league.
That's a bad
I don't
pick
know
this year.
what's going on, dude. I thought this kid was going to be the next Tom Brady, and it don't look like that. But talking about Tom Brady, a guy I've hated like since the beginning of his career, couldn't stand him.
I'll just fall asleep anytime someone brings this in.
Okay, we'll wake you up in a minute. But I saw this stat was 2 games ago that the Bucs were playing, and the fact that his numbers, his quarter QB rating, his just his career is better at 40 than it was when he was in his 20s. Yeah. It's startling to me. I mean, I really believe now that the guy could play until he's 50.
You can look at him visually right now and just be like, he looks healthier than he did in the beginning of his career. He looks more in shape. He looks more lean. He looks stronger. Like, I don't understand it. I don't understand what he's doing, but it's something mystical.
Well, when you got that kind of money, okay, and you're married to Giselle, I mean, I guess life, you find a way to be Mr. Super healthy. It's not called steroids, JD.
Steroids
it's
doesn't
not.
help a quarterback.
Okay?
It doesn't help
His
a quarterback.
forehead would be bigger if it was steroids. So, but you gotta love the guy now because he's an old guy. And athletes that I've hated, through their careers, as soon as they reach a certain age, I don't know what it is. It's like Drew Brees. All of a sudden, I went from hating him to liking him because all of a sudden he's the old guy, and I got to support the old guy. And Tom is the epitome of that. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. This guy.
It's inspirational, but it's also disgusting.
It is. Yes, very well said. It is both at the same time. It's crazy.
It really hits on that duality of the human experience, and I think that's why he's so successful. So
I guess. I don't know, man. I guess. But all right, so let's go to another signed book. What do you think?
Finally, you're done.
Hey, be careful. We could talk about this all night, Robbie and I. I'm not even playing. Let's do Maestro War and Packs #1, signed by Peter David. We were talking about the Hulker earlier. You were talking about it. Suggested retail of $49.99, and tonight we have it for $19.62. And we have one available at that price. And in a little while, we'll do a quick recap as well, just to cover everything that we've gone through. But I do know that we still have, let's see. Okay, we have a couple of best offer take it books that we presented. And let's see here. We had Masks, #6, high-end Steven Segovia, black and white, ultra limited edition cover. Suggested retail of $50, and the claims start at $1. And then we had Shadow Green Hornet, Dark Knights #1, high-end Alex Ross, artboard, ultra limited edition cover. Suggested retail of $100, and right now 62 Lefty is in the lead with a claim of $3. So just so everybody understands, these two books, best claim by $7.55 tonight takes the book. Best offer. Let's see. Okay, I guess we could do a quick recap now. So we'll go through a real quick recap just to bring anybody that maybe joined the show a little bit later. And let's see. Oh, Dave is bidding $5 on the Green Hornet Shadow. All right, Dave, let me write that down there, buddy. All right, so Dave is the high offer at $5 right now. All right, so just to do a quick recap, we had the Dynamite 10-pack reader set. That is suggested retail of $40, so it'll be 10 random Dynamite titles with a minimum cover price of $3.99 or higher, and we have it for $5. It's a great item for gifts if you're starting your collection and to introduce people to Dynamite titles. Then we had the Symbiote Spider-Man #1, signed by Greg Lance, just retail of $39.99. And we have that tonight, one copy available at $19.62. Then we had Venom: The End, signed by Raza. And that has that we have for $29.99, and we have one available tonight. And then we just had Maestro War and Packs #1, signed by Peter David. Suggested retail $49.99, and we have it tonight for $19.62. Then we had X-Men #1, signed and remarked by Ken Hazer with a Spider-Man sketch. Suggested retail of $89.99, and we have it tonight at $50, and we have one available at that price. Then we had Deceased #1, signed and remarked by Ken Hazer. Suggested retail of $89.99, and we have it tonight at $50, and we have one available at that price. And then we still have available Legendary #3, high-end Joe Benitez Virgin Art Ultra Limited Edition cover. Suggested retail of $100, and we have it tonight at $10, and we have one available at that price. Let's see. We had I covered the other books. Let's see. Jim claimed that one, Man with No Name #1 wanted poster, dynamic authentics cover, signed and remarked by Mel Ruby. That was also $10, but that's already been claimed. So Robbie, tell me what do you think's hot coming up this week?
I'm trying to remember what's coming out this week now. Well, I know Dynamite's got some cool books out this week. I believe there's a Deja Thor's book, a Kiss book, I think, as well. Is there a Kiss book?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a Kiss book, and there's Invincible Red Sonja's this week. That's been really good by Amanda O'Connor and Jimmy Palmiotti. And let me look, because there is something hot this week. I think Moon Knight. What's that?
No, Amy's going to grab the books, but go ahead.
Moon Knight is really a good book, and that's on schedule to come out this week. Moon Knight's been one of my favorites at Marvel. Oh, the biggest thing is we're finally actually going to get Gunslinger Spawn #1 in shops this week.
Yes.
Which I've already read. I know, right? And I've already read this book, and it is really good. If you like The Man with No Name, imagine him as Spawn. Like, there you go. That's what it is.
So it's funny you should bring that up. And JD, you might be able to find the photo from either the last show or the show before that, right? We had it, or even the art show.
Just in case.
But just in case, we have Gunslinger Spawn signed by Todd McFarlane. Okay, this is the 1:250 ratio incentive cover. So retailers had to buy 250 copies of the regular copy to get one of the variants. And this one's signed by Todd McFarlane and comes with the special certificate of authenticity that will allow you to send it to CGC to get graded and slapped, so you get the yellow tag, the signature series tag. And JD, the Magnus was already claimed. That's why by Stevie B earlier in the show before you came on. So that one's already gone. Stevie B hopped right on that one. And we have that available for, let's see, $800. And I know this has been really, really hot in the open market because it's been so difficult to get. And obviously signed by Todd McFarlane with the special certificate of authenticity that you can send with the book to CGC to get graded and get the yellow signature tag.
Yeah,
on the
it's
flat.
it's the McFarlane cover but it has the white background. He signs it. It's such a good book. It is such a good book. So y'all are really going to want this. And Dave reminds me the House of Slaughter comes out this week. That's another really hot book. The spinoff of Something is Killing the Children. That's been a really, really good book.
Yes. So, Amy, you got the books, and what do you got there?
These were the books that are going to come out this Wednesday. I know it's usually John's thing, but I guess if we can try to give a quick little sneak peek, if you can see it, we got Game of Thrones, Clash of Kings Part 2, with a couple different covers. We have our main cover right here. We got, this is a nice one. Oh, we got it.
There we go.
Game of Thrones. We got Vengeance of Vampirella. We got a couple cool covers. Our regular Lucio Perillo covers. Oh gosh, like we got a lot of people. I know, like I said, John does much better going through this stuff than I do. But like I said, I'll try to give you guys the best sneak peek that I can. The Vengeance of Vampirella coming out this Wednesday, number 23. We got a couple other titles. We got Invincible Red Sonja. Give a quick sneak peek of that one. Invincible Red Sonja. we're also bringing out. There is a Deja Thor's. I don't. Which one of you brought up?
Robbie did.
Robbie did. Okay. Yes, it's Deja Thor. Can't talk right now. Deja Thor's versus John Carter of Mars. That's also coming out this week. And I think we got one more title. Oh, we got Barbarella, number 4.
Is that a cosplay cover?
This is not the cosplay cover.
It's not a cosplay cover. Gotcha.
The C cover, like I said, I am not up to. Oh, Carla Cohen's cover. This is Carla Cohen's cover. By the way, we'll go through all of these once it's Wednesday and once they're all out in much better detail. But again, this is just the sneak peek.
So visit your local comic book shop. Pick up these titles. Anything else on your pull list. And I can't stress enough the importance of supporting local business, but especially in all local businesses is small mom and pops across the country are important. But between me and Robbie and Amy and John, I mean, we can only order out so much food. So I can only help restaurants to a certain extent, right? But in the comic book world, we're hoping we can do a little bit more. And if you're collecting your comics, I know a lot of the local comic book shops, they have an online presence. If you're uncomfortable going into the shop to pick up your books, I'm sure a lot of these guys will do some sort of curbside service for you. They'll put in, they'll ship it to you, whatever the case may be. I do stress again, though, there's an experience to going to your local comic book shop, meeting people with similar hobbies and having that discussion. And I feel like that's what we try to accomplish here with Robbie and our show and, with John and Amy, on the air. So that to try to recreate that conversation. It's not always just about the comics, although that's a very important part of it. So Stevie B says, I think Miller's Daredevil was the hand between the colon and JR Jr. hero sandwich mandatory food comment that's always part of your show. That is correct, Stevie B. That is correct. But minus my partner in crime, John, who is our quote unquote food expert. We kind of have gone around the food comments quite as much as we normally do. Although I am thinking about what to have for dinner. I am somewhat hungry and should probably eat before the show.
I would agree with a little bit of Stevie's comment, but I think he's more of the spam between the bread. So
the spam reference.
Yeah, bringing it back to spam. I want to have a spam reference in every show now. But yeah, the Colon stuff, JR, like fantastic. Gene Colan, his Tomb of Dracula stuff is some of my favorite comic books that ever existed. Like Gene Colan was a master of his craft.
Jumping back to your spam comment, right? So my daughter has a softball team that she coaches full of 11-year-olds. And I brought up spam, and I actually, and this is what ages you. I had to explain to them what spam was, and I had to put in the comment that no, not the kind that you get through your email, because they had no idea. They go, it's a meat. I go, sorta. Okay.
Keyword sort of.
Sort of it is.
That where did they get the term spam in emails because like the American government spammed that food across all these Pacific islands back in the day? Is that where that comes from?
I'm not sure, but you've actually that's actually a question I'm curious of what the answer is. So yeah. I'm going to actually look it up. And so join us next Monday, and I will have the eternal spam question answered for you. Okay, since now Rock and Robbie has put it in my head, I can't get rid of it. So, but yeah, I don't know. If anybody wants to put in chat board what they think I should get for dinner, I'm really thinking about it now, thanks to Stevie B. I'm not sure. I can't eat more pizza. It's been too much pizza. I've been eating a lot of pizza lately. I don't know why. I haven't felt like cooking, so it's been crazy. And I try to mix it up. I hit every pizza joint in town, and which are a lot. I live in the Northeast, so it's a lot, and most of it's good. Most of it is pretty good. So we generally don't eat Domino's or attaboy, JD. And guess what? Harm those cans of spam at all. Okay, the stuff could last through a nuclear explosion. Jen, man, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man? Thanks for joining us tonight. I was telling Robbie you guys were dropping his name on Saturday. Let's see. Stevie B says, I think the only food that Spam can never beat out is Vienna sausages. I believe that they're made pretty much in the same way. Don't they both come from Hormel now? So it's just, Spam is very durable. So you can shape it in any shape you want. Right.
You can do more with Spam than Vienna sausages, right? You can do more. But I will say, I really like the chicken Vienna sausages in the barbecue sauce. That's actually pretty good. So, but that's like
I would
8-year-old in me coming out.
There's nothing like canned meat that can last years. Full of sodium. Okay, meat's questionable.
We don't even need John.
I can tell you this. I'll give you a better one than that. We have something in this area called Scrapple. Okay, not really very well known throughout the country. Okay, and
I know a couple people who are Scrapple fans.
Oh, I'm a huge Scrapple fan. Are you kidding me? But predominantly only something that you can find in the Northeast, and it really is something that was created by the Pennsylvania Dutch, and it didn't really expand too much further. And it is a breakfast meat. Okay. And the name Scrapple came from the fact that it came from the scraps that were left over when you finished butchering, whatever you're butchering.
Yeah.
And you got to fry it up nice and crisp, and you gotta make it right. Okay. You buy it at home and try to do it yourself. It doesn't always come out right. And it tastes kind of starchy, kind of meaty. And if you're not from this area, most people can't stand it. I don't know why. It's delicious. It really is.
That looks so gross, Rex. I just looked up pictures of it.
On Wednesday, where we talk more about food and just a little bit about comics.
That's what we plan to do. Yeah, this show isn't even over yet. We haven't even covered the cuisine half the stuff.
It
and
looks
JD
like
jumped in, just leave the S off of Scrapple.
If Universal Studios had superhero sandwiches, would you call the Invisible Girl the diet sandwich? Listen, I got some really bad ones.
Wow, Nick. That was bad, dude.
There's nothing there? Like, is that what you're trying to say?
There's like, JD, can we get some crickets chirping, please?
What I tell
you, Stevie B has a suggestion, Nick. Dynamite needs a Spam Man comic who fires a gun that shoots Vienna sausages.
Nice.
Can you bring that up in the next editorial meeting?
I think that's a great idea for a Kickstarter.
I'll send you a pitch. I got an idea for that. I'll send you a pitch. Spam Man.
Oh my gosh. Devin's going, what did I just join?
It's like, I thought we were talking about comics
Nick
here.
Nick wasn't cracking jokes like this all Saturday, was he?
I know. No, he wasn't. Thank God, because Gem Mint would have thrown him off the show. So Gem Mint, congratulations on a very successful Saturday auction. I was watching it today at work. Looks like you guys had a great show, great activity. And just want to shout out to a few of the people out there. Danny Brown, Mike Ferraro, Toadman X, Real Walrus, Jason Russell, Ramsey, Toddy Cox, Curse 85, Mike Kennard, and of course, last but not least, our buddy Dave Cerrone from Cali. And I'm sure I left out a whole bunch of people. But it would take me the rest of the show to name everybody.
Can you put up Dave's comment real quick? The new we gotta put Nick in the bathroom. The bathroom.
Pressable defect style. Thank you to everyone that joined Gem Mint's auction. I think it's something that's going to happen now once a month. Nick, is that right?
It's looking that way. Yeah, next one's Black Friday.
Next one will be Black Friday. So, be sure to, and if you haven't been on Gem Mint's YouTube channel, check it out.
We're all going to be there.
Like Rocket, and they were asking for you, Rock and Robbie, but Robbie had a perfectly good excuse. He had that horror con that he was going to, had a great time. Almost got thrown out for his Dallas Cowboy hoodie, but if you haven't tuned into Gem Mint's channel, you definitely should. Just like Rock and Robbie, great content, very engaging. It definitely worth your time to check out.
And we do a video together every week, me and Jim, over at Gem Mint Collectibles, where we do our top 10. It's a fun video.
Yeah. No, I know. So definitely check them out if you haven't. I'm sure most everybody has. That's watching us tonight. But yeah, Black Friday coming up. We're gonna have another auction on Gem Mint's channel, and it'll be crowded. There'll be so many of us there. There'll be like little windows on the screen, itty bitty windows all over, right? Like the Brady Bunch kind of thing, Now I'm really dating myself. But thank you to everybody that's watching tonight, that joined that auction. We really appreciate it. All right, let's go to another book. Let's do. Here's a good one. Joker 80th anniversary, 100-page super spectacular #1 elite gold signature series signed by Greg Capullo. Suggested retail of $89.99. We're going to do it tonight for $27, and we have one available at this price.
It's one of my favorite artists. Joker is one of the most famous characters out there. It's a Joker by Greg Capullo, signed by him. That's freaking fantastic. And that's actually, out of all those anniversary issues that DC does, this Joker one was really solid. Like, most of the stories in there held up. They were super fun. So this is really cool. That's a great signature to get, and a great image to have that signature on.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, the character of the Joker, probably one of the oldest ones, certainly as the nemesis of Batman. But they've really kind of explored the character through the years, which is interesting.
Yeah, Nick says Detective 27, almost 70% off of for our dynamic fans. I like that.
He didn't appreciate all our spam talk.
Yeah, we're gonna get back to the comics, Nick. Don't worry, we're doing it.
So, and just keep in mind, earlier in the show, if you joined us late, we went through a whole bunch of Frank Miller Daredevils, all in varied conditions, but all of them in very good condition. And Dave picked up a few. We're definitely going to have some of them available on the shows as time goes on. Literally, it was something that just came in, and we know that Dave is a huge Frank Miller Daredevil fan. So we threw some out there at ridiculous prices for Dave, and Dave picked up $179, $183, and $184. So keep your eye out. We'll definitely have more of those available for sale as time goes on. We haven't even literally processed it. I think the package came today, and Nick ripped it open and said, "Hey, who was it that asked for the Frank Miller Daredevils? It was Dave, wasn't it?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "We'll throw them on there for Dave." So one of our loyal viewers, missing Ron tonight. I hope he's okay. We're always a little frightened that his wife tased him, and he's lying there, kind of drooling out of the left side of his mouth for buying too many comics. There we go. There we go. It's Dave. It's Dave. It's Ron. Oh my gosh. But all right. So let's see. Oh, we got to go to another break. My God, time really flies by when you're talking about spam.
Right.
So JD, take us to break. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Hi, I'm Brian Haberlin, and I want to tell you a little bit about my new book coming out in October, Hellcop. Hellcop's been rattling around my brain for decades. When I launched Avalon Comics with Whilce Portacio, Hellcop was one of the initial launches, but I was wearing a lot of hats back then. So I gave over the reins to Joe Casey and Gilbert Monsanto, and they did a great job, but it was my baby. If you look at sketchbooks I've done over the years, there's Hellcops throughout. There are pages started, stories started. So let me tell you a little bit about the story. Discovering a whole new world that had only previously existed in our collective imaginations. A tale of adventure, betrayal. Hell's just another place, another planet with native creatures most on Earth would call monsters. And humans that have been there as long as they've been here. Doctors, lawyers, maybe too many lawyers. Please join me in October for the release of Hellcop and the Hellcop 3D Halloween special. Hey, I want to say thanks for watching, and I really hope you can go and ask your retailer to pick up Hellcop for October. There's going to be a 3D version with 3D glasses and the whole 9 yards, and the regular version, of course, too, with some pretty fun covers. Thank you for your attention, your support, as always, and hope you guys have a great day.
Hey, I'm Garrett Gunn. You might know me from Good Boy, Warhorns, Franklin and Gus, and you're watching The Experience.
Hey everyone, we're back. You got Rockin' Robbie, our good friend. You have Amy and myself with you tonight.
And forth.
Back. JD's having fun now. Thank you for joining us. If it's your first time watching, if you want to claim anything that we show on the air, go ahead and post it in the chat board. And then JD, when you get a chance, he'll flash up a link and a QR code that is to our submission form. Fill out the submission form so we have your ship to address and all your real name and all that relevant information. And it's just that easy.
Claim on the legendary book.
Okay, Stevie B is making a
2 on the Segovia sketch cover.
Okay, so hold on. So legendary.
I think I spilled my spam on the score.
Wait, what did he say?
He said I spilled my spam on the scorecard.
All right, so Stevie
again,
B,
it's too far away. I
know. We need the big screen.
Or just, or maybe I just need better classes.
Okay, so you got it for $10. That is a $10 claim. That's all yours. Let's see, the Steven Segovia mask number 6. Let's see, and you've got a $2 offer in on that. You got it, Stevie. So we have Stevie B in for, let's see, $2. You got it, buddy. We got you down. So to remind everybody, on our best offer claim books, the best offer at $7.55 will take it. So right now, masks number 6, high-end Steven Segovia black and white ultra limited edition cover, suggested retail of $50. Stevie B is in the lead right now with a $2 offer. And then Shadow Green Hornet, Dark Knights number 1, high-end Alex Ross artboard ultra limited edition cover, 62 lefty. Actually, Dave Cerrone is in the lead with a claim of $5. So the highest, best offer at $7.55 takes it. All right, so let's do. Here's a good one. Amazing Spider-Man: Renew Your Vows, number 8, Silver Signature Series, signed by Jerry Conway. Suggested retail of $69.99, and tonight we have it for $50.
Wow. You know, when we think of Spider-Man, we think of Stan Lee, we think of Steve Ditko, we think of John Romita Jr., and rightly so. Some even think of John Byrne, some think of J. Michael Straczynski. Right. But Jerry Conway, co-creator of The Punisher, the murderer of Gwen Stacy, you know what I'm saying? He's one of the most important figures outside of the original, terrific trio of Lee, Ditko, and Romita, right?
So Stevie B's down here. Thanks. I hate my comics to ship alone. You don't want to get lonely, Stevie. So there it is. Okay. Thank you, JD. Amazing Spider-Man, Renew Your Vows, number 8.
That's not the right
one. Oh, wait, that isn't the right one, is it? That's One More Day. Have we even gotten to that?
No, that's super. It's this one. Renew Your Vows.
Yeah, that was number 544, right?
That was weird. JD, what's up?
He's like Spider-Man, Superman. It's all the same.
JD's eating too much spam.
Someone check on JD. Make sure he's okay.
There it is. There you go.
There you go, buddy. See? Put the spam down. Walk away from it, JD. John Cole says Legendary is crazy good. Maybe the best non-superpowers thing Dynamite has done. Thank you, John. Our resident Dynamite mega fan. Usually here with us today, but had to take a break. He had a little too much Nick exposure because he was helping Nick with the Gem Hit auction show. So he has to detox a little bit. So we gave him the night off. So we have Amy here joining us, who is a bit more immune to the overexposure of Nick. She has a radiation suit that we give her, when she comes in the morning, so she can wear that. So we have the Amazing Spider-Man, Renew Your Vows, number 8, Silver Signature Series, signed by Jerry Conway. Suggested retail of $69.99, and we have the one available tonight for $50 if anybody wants to claim that. All right, so next up, we have Batman number 44, First printing, Catwoman cover by Joelle Jones, signed by Tom King. That has a suggested retail of $39.99, and we have it tonight for $19.40, the year Catwoman first appeared, and we have one available at that price. So,
I got a question for y'all, real quick. When Joelle Jones had like designed this wedding dress for Catwoman, it caused this like whole like hoopla, right? Where a lot of people are into it, and other people are like, "I think it looks amazing." What do y'all think about that? Even though it's the wedding that didn't happen, right? But I think that wedding dress looks amazing, and that's why this cover, when it first came out, popped so hard, because it was the first time you got to see it.
No, I agree. And she, I mean, you look at that cover and the excellent artwork, the reflection with her in her Catwoman costume. It's just an amazing cover. And each copy, this copy is hand signed by, hold on, I just lost track.
Tom King.
By Tom King. Covered by Joelle Jones. So available for $19.40 tonight to the first person who claims it. And Stevie B says, not to mention Jerry's TV work on Law and Order. That's a very good point as well.
I didn't know he worked on Law and Order. That's really cool.
Yeah. I mean, you look at guys like that, and Frank Miller, and we know them as comic collectors and hobbyists for what they do in the comic book world. But a lot of these creators have done stuff outside of that.
It was raining. Wow.
And look at that! It just started raining here in New Jersey. We are the state is under a state of emergency for this nor'easter that's rolling through. But we've done shows in the middle of a tornado warning, which was really, really interesting.
Like every 5 minutes, someone's phone would go off.
Yeah. I think we had one show, right? With we were all here, and then the phone alert, and I was getting my alerts late. It was really weird. Everybody else's phone would go off, and mine would have like a 5 or 10 minute lag time before my phone went off. Almost
That's crazy.
Feels like somebody doesn't care.
We get so many tornado watches and warnings down here that they don't even go off anymore. Like nobody even pays attention. The sirens will be going off. People are just outside like, nah, I don't see nothing. We're so jaded to it. But in Jersey, that can happen often, right?
Well, you know what's weird? I'll tell you, Rob. I grew up in this area, and massive snowstorms happen. Bad thunderstorms, even hurricanes. But we never had tornadoes until it feels like the last decade.
Huh.
And it's becoming more and more frequent, which is kind of spooky. I mean, several years ago, I'd say about 3 years ago, right here, I was working at Dynamite at that time. Right here in our parking lot, a tornado ran through. Luckily, I think it was like a weekend that it ran through. So parking lot was more or less clear.
Yeah.
But it made like all the local news. We knew exactly where it was. My daughter and I actually hopped into a car. Yeah, right.
Just gets louder and louder.
We hopped into a car, my car, that Saturday to just go see the overturned car, because it overturned a car in our parking lot to one of our neighbors across the parking lot, flipped the car over, and it was literally at their front door, sitting on the roof. It completely flipped over. And it's just happening more and more frequently. Actually, 2 weekends ago, I was in Central Jersey, Mercer County, as a matter of fact, and I'm driving out, and there were warnings of storm and potential tornadoes and stuff. And I literally am driving out of this Mercer County park and getting onto the main road, and it looked like a funnel. It looked like a developing funnel cloud. So all the trash and leaves and branches were circling. I mean, they were like blowing in a circle. And I'm thinking, well, that can't be good. So we're not used to it here. I mean, just in the last decade, it's become more and more frequent. It's very, very, very weird.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, we deal with that a lot down in this area. But when it does snow, it shuts everything down. It could snow like half an inch. We're shut down for days. Everybody here freaks out over snow. So
well, you know what? You live in one of the southern states. I remember once I was in Atlanta, and this was way before 9/11, and maybe an inch of snow fell on the ground, and these people, and I'm like sitting in my hotel room, and I'm watching the news, And it's like these people lost their minds. You had like the city transit buses sliding sideways down the highway.
We don't know how to drive in it. We're not prepared for it either. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll be like, we don't have enough to salt the roads. Like if you've driven in Atlanta in the best of conditions, could you imagine just 1 inch of snow in Atlanta? It's like,
I was
a crazy place.
I got a cab to the airport, right? The guy is literally doing 25 miles an hour. And I'm sitting there like looking at my watch going, I'm going to miss my flight. I finally told the cab driver, I said, look, dude, you want to pull over and let me drive? Because I'm going to miss my flight at this rate. Okay. He was driving so slow and it was literally nothing on the road. I mean, it was less than an inch. It was like a dusting, what we call a dusting here.
Yeah.
And then there was a time
down here though. That's
there we go.
Down here, that's a Sharknado. Hey, Nick points out that we're at 17 likes, y'all. Just 3 more, we can get to 20. Wouldn't that be cool?
That's awesome. Please, if you wouldn't mind, hit thumbs up. Subscribe when you're checking out Robbie's channel or Jen Mint's channel. Please do the same. It helps everybody's algorithms. It helps us grow. So we really appreciate that. I want to say hello to Midnight Rider Gilbert, who's joined us. Thanks for joining us. We always appreciate our viewers. But here's a funny part. Part 2 of that story is then there was a period of time I was going in the winter to Minneapolis, almost like every other week, and it was in the dead of winter, and there was perpetually snow everywhere the entire time, and it was cold. Like you would rent a car and they'd have to bring that thing out to unfreeze the door because you couldn't get the door to your rental car open, and nothing stopped these people. I mean, I was there for a blizzard waiting for my, waiting to go to the airport for my flight.
Hi, T-Pain, real quick. He just said hi.
Hey, T-Pain, what's going on, buddy? And I swear the cab driver drove to the airport at normal speeds. It was like it didn't even happen. Okay.
Yeah.
So, let's see.
Like Gilbert was just at Gilbert, who's new here. Is this like a talk show? Part-time talk show. Mostly,
Gilbert,
we try to sell comics.
Let me tell you. If you're coming from our the Gem Mint auction on Saturday, it's a little different format. What we're trying to do is we have some great deals here, and we'll do a recap for the end of the show. But we're trying to recreate. There are a lot of claim shows out there. They're great. They all do great. We're trying to recreate the local comic book shop experience. So we have some great comics at great prices. We encourage you, and you'll hear us talk about it if you're a regular viewer, to visit your local comic book shop, because part of what we're trying to do here is kind of create more foot traffic for them, because they're small businesses and they can use the help. So we're trying to do something a little different. So when you go to your local comic book shop and you're picking up your pull list and you're talking to somebody about comics or about spam or about snow and tornadoes or whatever the case may be, we're trying to recreate that virtual experience for people. We feel like that's something that's kind of missed. But with that being said, let's go to another book. So since Gilbert just joined us, and we will do a recap, Gilbert, before the end of the evening. So next up, we have Superman Year One, Number One, Elite Gold Signature Series by John Romita Jr. So JR Jr. has hand-signed this book in gold, Superman Year One, Number One, suggested retail of $99.99, and we have it tonight for $50.
Wow. I love that cover.
And, and by Frank Miller and JR Jr., Frank we've already spoken about. I mean, the guy is redefined Batman, redefined Daredevil. I mean, I know that he's been a director, a producer, a screenplay writer, probably one of the more prolific creators out there. And then John Romita Jr., you're talking about comic book royalty. I mean, how many families do you have that have successfully churned out? I mean, you could say the Kuberts, but have successfully churned out a father-son kind of, I don't want to say team, but two people from the same family to be that talented in one arena is something amazing.
Yeah, and you were talking about prolific, like John Romita Jr. Can you name a Marvel title he wasn't the penciler on? I can't. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's done everything. X-Men, Daredevil, Punisher, Fantastic Four, Spider-Man. He's one of my favorite Spider-Man artists. He's a fantastic artist.
He absolutely is. And Dave jumps in and says, or it's your local deli experience. Could be, because we have the best delis in the Northeast. Just saying. Yeah.
Well,
We have
I'm sure they're not down here. So trust me.
Well, it ain't Subway, buddy.
they're
That's
okay.
what I'm telling you. Yeah, it ain't Subway. All right. So next up, we have Amazing Spider-Man number 544, signed and remarked by Randy Everlin. Suggested retail of $99.99. We have it tonight. One copy available at this price. $62 for 1962. Amazing Fantasy number 15. Disagree on that cover, Robs. That's a very weak JR cover. Okay. He can still do good work, but he phones in a loop. He's past his prime.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. I mean,
I disagree with your disagreement, but that's okay.
I would disagree, but I mean, that's part of the conversation that we love to have here. We're not all going to agree.
A lot of people don't like John Romita Jr. is kind of like Kirby in that idea, where a lot of people don't really like him at first, and then usually people like. And I'm not talking about squash. I don't know squash. I'm sure squash is, cool. And but like a lot of people then eventually learn to not learn, but start understanding what is so important about it. John Romita Jr. is one of the best storytellers sequentially in comic book art we've ever had, in my opinion.
I listen, I agree with you, but Squash and Fry says, ignore me. I'm the PCP negative Nancy. Listen, Squash and Fries, feel free. We want to hear your opinion. Part of the magic of our show that I think, that's the magic of our show is the interaction that we have with our viewers. So we want to hear your opinion. And also, if you haven't seen something that you're interested in, let us know. You can always contact me at rex.wang@dynamite.com. And JD, if you get a second, you can throw that up. You can always post it in the chats. If there's something that you're interested in, like tonight we had a bunch of the Frank Miller Daredevils for Dave, because Dave had made a request a few weeks back, I think. We didn't have any at the time, but Nick is always looking for collections to purchase. So if you know of somebody, there's always going to be a referral fee that's involved if you steer us to a collection that you think might interest us. But we also always want to know what our viewers like, what they like to see. If there's more spam conversation that they want to hear, and I don't mean the email kind, we'd be happy to accommodate. But that truly is what I think makes the show. Spam intensifies. Again, nothing you can do to harm spam, and that can.
Now that we know he has that gift, we're just gonna keep doing it.
Oh, absolutely. Actually, you know what, JD, you need to mix it up a little bit. You might need to find new spam.
Hey, Rex, we got some of the offers are about to be ending. You want to recap those?
Yes, let me do that.
Good idea.
That is a very good idea. $2. We also had the Shadow Green Hornet Dark Knights #1 high-end Alex Ross Artboard Ultra Limited Edition cover. And the high claim at this moment is Dave at $5. And let's see. And I think those were the only best offer books we had for the night.
Yeah.
And then we'll get to the last few, and we will do a recap before the end of the show. So we did do the Amazing Spider-Man number 544, signed and remarked by Randy Emberlin. Suggested retail of $99.99, and we have it tonight. One available for $62. And let's see. Okay. Ooh, you know what? Let's do some slabs. We haven't done the slabs tonight, I don't think. So
the rest of them are slabs. We have
3 slabs. Yeah. So we have Detective Comics number 1000, 2000s variant covered by Jock, CGC graded, guaranteed 9.8. Suggested retail of $89.99. We have that tonight. One available for $81 for the 81st anniversary.
Oh, I like that. 81st. I like that. This is one. I love this cover. Jock is a great artist. Look at that.
I agree.
That jawline, the detail in there, and like
the rain coming down.
Yeah, I love it.
Then we also have Doomsday Clock #1, CGC graded, guaranteed 9.8, suggested retail of $89.99, and we have that one available at this price for $50.
I really like Doomsday Clock. I'm just going to say that.
And then last but not least, we have Miles Morales, Spider-Man number 25 variant cover, CGC graded, guaranteed 9.8. Suggested retail of $89.99, and we have that for $62 tonight for 1962 Amazing Spider-Man number 15 Original Spider-Man, and we have one available at that price. And just so everybody knows, when we bring you the slab books, the grade that you see is guaranteed because we only ever have one available at that price. And, we've talked about it, how all the grading companies have been kind of backed up because of pandemic and supply chain issues. And the fact that, the pandemic probably had a lot of us locked in our houses, going up to our attic or basement and finally dealing with the collection of comics that we've had for years and years and years. And all of a sudden submissions just blew up. So they got kind of caught behind the eight ball. A lot of businesses are having staffing issues. So I do know that they put out a press release. Oh my gosh, this is probably a month or two ago, saying that they were expanding their facility to 21,000 square feet. They were hiring more employees to help deal with the overflow. So, if you have books submitted, be patient. They're trying their best to catch up, like so many different businesses out there. But what we're hoping to do with our slab comics, we're trying to bring them to you at a great price. When you take into account packaging them, filling out submission forms, sending it out to them, paying for the grading fee, and then finally getting it back. And I know that Dave had sent something in April and just recently got it back, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, something like that. So, and then you have the lag time wait. And unfortunately, a lot of times when you submit a book, it's just human nature. It generally comes back probably a grade lower than you thought it was going to be. There's a small percentage of people that are brutally honest about the condition of their comics, but most of us probably are not. So when you get them here on the show, it's guaranteed. You know what you're going to get. Fill out, claim it in chat board, fill out the submission form, and, as we'll pack it up and get it shipped out to you right away. So let's see.
Whew.
I know that was a lot, wasn't it?
You impressed me. I can't memorize all that.
Are you kidding me? I just say whatever comes to my mind, as Robbie has figured out. It's totally unscripted and unprepared, people, as you may have noticed. I know guys like Dave and Ron and everybody else that are regular viewers. They know exactly. He just makes that crap up. I certainly do. So looks like we have just enough time. 1 more minute, so I'm going to bring it up again on the best offer takes it. Still available, mass number 6, high-end Steven Segovia, black and white, ultra limited edition cover. Right now, Stevie B's in the lead with an offer of $2. And then Shadow Green Hornet, Dark Knights number 1, high-end Alex Ross artboard, ultra limited edition cover. Dave Cerrone in the lead with an offer of $5. So if anybody wants to jump in, you've got like a minute. And then do a full recap. We have the Dynamite 10-pack reader set, which we bring to every show. And it is 10 random Dynamite titles with a cover price of $3.99 or more. So a suggested retail of $40, and we have it on sale for $5. Help grow the comic community. Get Dynamite titles at ridiculously affordable prices at 50 cents a title into people's hands. Makes a great gift with the holidays approaching. And we have them in stock. If you buy multiples, we'll do our best not to send you duplications. Next up, Symbiote Spider-Man number 1, signed by Greg Land. Suggested retail of $39.99, and we have one available tonight for $19.62. Venom the End number 1, signed by Raza. Suggested retail of $29.99, and we have one available at that price. Maestro War and Packs number 1, signed by Peter David. Suggested retail of $49.99. We have one available tonight for $19.62. Joker 80th Anniversary 100-page Super Spectacular number 1, Elite Gold Signature Series, signed by Greg Capullo. Suggested retail of $89.99, and we have one available for $27. Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows number 8, Silver Signature Series, signed by Jerry Conway. Suggested retail of $69.99. We have one available for $50. Batman number 44, first printing, Catwoman cover by Joelle Jones, signed by Tom King. Suggested retail of $39.99, and we have one available for $19.40. Superman Year 1, number 1, Elite Gold Signature Series, signed by John Romita Jr. Suggested retail of $99.99, and we have one available at $50. Amazing Spider-Man number 544, signed and remarked by Randy Emberlin. Suggested retail of $99.99, and we have one available for $62. X-Men number 1, signed and remarked by Ken Hazer with a Spider-Man sketch. Suggested retail of $89.99, and we have one available for $50. Deceased number 1 and remarked by Ken Hazer. I love this cover. Suggested retail of $89.99, and we have one available for $50. Legendary number 3 high end was claimed by Stevie B. That was one of our first 10-minute specials. Magnus Robot Fighter number 1 high end Tom Fowler was also claimed by Stevie B. And then mass number 6. We're past 7:55, so looks like the winner is Stevie B for that one.
Congrats,
and
Stevie.
Dave for Shadow and Green Hornet. We have Dark Knight Returns number 1 ultra limited black foil New York Comic Con version variant CGC graded 9.6 for $100, and we also have the 9.8 CGC graded for $200. Detective Comics number 1000 to 2000s variant covered by Jock CGC graded guaranteed 9.8, and we have that available for $81. Doomsday Clock number 1 CGC graded 9.8, suggested retail of $89.99, and we have one available for $50. Miles Morales Spider-Man number 25 variant CGC graded 9.8, suggested retail of $89.99, and we have one available for $62. And then Man with No Name number 1 was claimed by Jim Cohort. That was one of our first 10-minute specials, so he got an $89.99 book for $10.
Dave
and
got
then
a bunch of Daredevils.
And Dave picked up
some great
Daredevil,
deals.
Frank Miller's Daredevil number 179, 183, and 184. And just to remind everybody, if you post it in tonight's chat, you have automatically entered for a drawing of a $50 or more premium comic, variant cover premium comic, and we will announce the winner on Robbie's show on Friday. So, and I think that's it. Robbie, as always, thank you so much. Find a real football team to root for. And I want to thank Amy for filling in.
I try my best. I know I'm not the best, but I try.
Yeah, you're better than John. I hope you're still watching, John. That's right. I said it. I went there. Told you. Anything that pops in my head, I'll say it. And Stevie B says, batten down the hatches there in New Jersey night. Everybody have a good week. Thank you, Stevie B. Hopefully no tornadoes here because we're not like Rock and Robbie. We're not used to them. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We really appreciate it. And remember, Wednesday night, we'll be back from 6 to 8 with Comic Collectibles. And then on Friday from 7 to 8, we'll have original art with Nick. All right. Thanks so much.
Email us if you want to claim anything else. If you came in super late, please let us know.
Absolutely.
And we'll keep to our prices.
And
But
that's it.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.